Now I've put 12 spigots in the other drums, so I thought I should show the process of how I'm doing it here. I've measured down from this lip 1.5 inches just off this seam. I'm using a 7/8 hole saw. It seems to work as good or probably a little better than the paddle bits I've had. So this 7/8 is the size we need for those spigots. The plastic kind of gums these up, but you have to get the rough edges off here so that your O-rings will seat. So I found the best thing to do is just do it by hand with a little, this is like double-aught sandpaper. As soon as your ridge is gone there, you're good. Okay, that ought to do it. It's not that hard. It seems to work pretty good. So now I can't put these in until I have help, because obviously I can't reach down in here and then be able to screw the spigot on. So my wife is going to come over and help me after a bit, and we'll get these in. Now there's one more step here that we need to do. The barrels are all drilled, ready for the spigots. Now we have to drill the top for an airlock to let the, as the yeast works in the wine, it has to push up out of an airlock to discharge the CO2. I use a 1/2 inch paddle bit. These tops are relatively thin, and they don't need a lot of work. Light sand like that knocks off any ridges. That looks awesome. Now this just gets slipped in here, and we go to both sides and make sure that it's captured everywhere it should be, and that one is fine. That's how you put in a bung for an airlock. This is just a little grommet. This is an airlock. This goes down in here and just gets twisted in. Then what we do, a lot of people put water in these. What we do is we put a little bit of vodka in them. If any of this gets in the wine, the vodka is tasteless and flavorless. The water, if you put it in, could contain something that we don't want in our wine. So we use vodka for this. Now we're going to put these spigots in that look like this. These are the ones we use in our barrels. And I've got Mo here to help me.
Yep.
Okay. That one is in. Number 2. Next step is to water test these. I have a barrel full of water inside. It has been tested and it's okay. So now we need to basically rack water from barrel to barrel and make sure none of these leak. Once we make sure these don't leak, then we can go get the money, put in the wine juice. Now it's time to water test these barrels and make sure that the spigots we just put in don't leak. It's really important to put the full pressure on these to make sure that they're going to be okay, because we don't want to have any surprises. This barrel was leaking. I've had to do this to 2 other barrels. These are black neoprene washers, and I just put a washer on the inside with a nut, and then I put this washer on the outside, and so far I've had no problems, and this one's not leaking. This is barrel number 4, passed the water test. Nothing. Completely dry, so all our barrels are ready for duty. Now we have 4 drums of this that we already brought down, but we were not happy with the process we had to go through to get them off the truck and into the winery, because it costs a lot to have the juice delivered. So these barrels here are the 2 new barrels that I just got unloaded and we brought in. Now what we're going to do here is we do not use pumps in our winery. What we do is we use this lift, which you saw me build and put together. We lift these barrels up in the air and we drop a hose into an empty barrel, and we use these spigots here to gravity feed the wine to rack it and clarify it. We believe that gravity is the best thing. Pumps and all the stuff that that man builds is probably doomed to fail, and we had a failure and we may lose a drum of wine, so we're never doing that again. God created gravity and it never fails. Tillerman is here to help. Is it Tillerman approved? All right, let's get her done, buddy. Careful, because this is when it gets really weird. Hang on. You aren't supposed to catch the door handle. These are our barrel stands here. The barrels are set on. And this is the same lift we use for racking in the winery. This is how we unload the wine after we go get it with the truck. The lift makes everything easy to move around in here. These barrels weigh approximately between 460 and 500 pounds each. Ready? Okay. Got it. This cart is something that was banging around in my shop. I used to use it for coal, but I have a new process for that, so it got converted to a wine cart. Now we had plugs in these and we took the plugs out. We're putting these spouts back on so we can gravity rack or check wine at any point. Okay, so that's the process of getting the wine in after we go get our juice. Stay tuned. We got lots more coming. Thanks for watching. We are making wine. These barrels are on fire.